Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing really well. This is our next egg hatching video and it's our candling video. It's day 7, 8 of incubation, and this is when we candle the eggs. And it's called candling because the farmers really used to use candles. We're gonna use a little flashlight here and we're gonna shine it on the eggs. And like it said in the article that I gave you to read, it gives you a chance to kind of peek inside the egg and see what's happening developmentally at this point in the incubation. So really what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to candle the eggs before you even put them in the incubator to see if they're healthy, and which I don't usually do because I'm not proficient enough at telling the healthy eggs from the non-healthy eggs. I've gotten pretty good at candling them at this point to see what's growing in there. Francis and Amelia and I just candled all 12 of them, and we think that 11 have growing embryos inside of them, and we think one of them is what they call an early quitter. One of them started to develop and has since stopped growing. So we're going to look at a healthy one and peek inside and see what it looks like, and then I'll show you what we think is the early quitter and why we think that, okay?
Number 12 on.
Sure. Can you tell in the dark? You need me to. Okay.
Yeah, it's number 12.
Okay. So to candle, we're going to shine a really bright light right up against it. So the first thing you notice, at the blunt end of the egg, there should be an air sac. And if you're really good, you can judge the size of the air sac and tell the stage of development by the size, because it gradually gets bigger. There he is. There's the embryo. At this stage, he's kind of a C shape. His limbs have already started to form. That dark spot up top is his or her eye. Their beak has already started to form. They're already a boy or a girl. The other thing, if you can't see the embryo at this stage, which you can't always, sometimes they're kind of hiding behind the yolk, what you can tell that shows that it's a healthy egg is some of this spider webby blood cells. And we'll look at one more that has some good blood vessels in it for you to see. Okay. Fran, do you want to pick out not the early quitter, but just another one?
Does it matter?
I don't think so. I think they all looked good. We'll look at one more here. And our air sac is up there at the top. Oh, there's the embryo. You can kind of see the movement in there. And then you can also see some of the blood vessels. Is that coming through in the video, Meme? Mm-hmm. There, so it's kind of the spiderwebby blood vessels, and he's kind of floating around in there. And from this point on, the change in size is pretty dramatic. And actually, in another week or so, he's going to be so big that you really can't candle because the inside is all chick, and you can't even really see. Do you want to put that one back, Fran? Mm-hmm. All right, and you want to get out the early quitter? What was that, number 11?
Yeah.
All right, and this one, now if I were really good at candling, I would.
This is 7.
I would toss out I would use this as a process to toss out the ones that I don't think are alive, but I'm not that confident in my diagnostic skills, so I just keep them all in here.
I don't know what number that is.
It's 11. So here you can see there's an egg, there is an air sac, but do you see that ring of red? That's what happens when the embryo starts to grow, starts to form the blood vessels. Something happens and the embryo dies, and all the blood vessels kind of settle to one part of the egg and form that ring. So you can tell there's no, the rest of the egg looks really clear. I don't see an embryo in there. I don't see a nice spider web of vessels I just see that ring of red vessels that settled on the bottom. So I think that's our early critter. But the good news is, out of 12 eggs, we only have one that I don't think has a chick growing in it, which 11 of 12 to have embryos growing at this point is pretty awesome. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.